Sukhamala is a Pali word. Translated into English, it is delicate way of living, delicate lifestyle. Bhikkhu Bodhi just translates it as delicate, yeah, but it's more of a delicate lifestyle. We will see what is this delicate lifestyle. I will be reading the sutta, and at a particular point where I feel that this requires some explanation, I will stop and we will discuss the particular paragraph. Bhikkhus, I was delicately nurtured, most delicately nurtured, extremely delicately nurtured. At my father's residence, lotus ponds were made just for my enjoyment. In one of them, blue lotuses bloomed. In another, red lotuses, and in a third, white lotuses. I used no sandalwood unless it came from Kashi, and my headdress, jacket, lower garment and upper garment were made of cloth from Kashi. By day and by night, a white canopy was held over me so that cold and heat, dust, grass and dew would not settle on me. I had 3 mansions, one for the winter, one for the summer, and one for the rainy season. I spent the 4 months of the rains in the rainy season mansion, being entertained by musicians, none of whom were male, and I did not leave the mansion. While in other people's homes, slaves, workers, and servants are given broken rice together with sour gruel for their meals, in my father's residence, they were given choice hill rice, meat, and boiled rice. I'll stop there. So, what is Buddha talking about? He's talking about the comfort, the exceptional comfort in which his nurturing happened. Yeah, he was carefully protected from pain. Of course, he was the king's son, so that also was one of the reasons. But another main reason was that it was predicted that he would renounce the worldly pleasures for a life of asceticism. Yeah, so now ask yourself that question. Why did Buddha drop all of that, all this beautiful description that he gave you? Why did he drop all that? What was the problem there? What was the issue that he was trying to solve? He had everything, all the worldly pleasures. If these worldly pleasures were the problem, would Buddha need to mention all this in detail, all this refined details, and explain to us how his pleasures really were? Why is he maximizing or emphasizing maximized pleasure to us, yeah? Instead of just ordinary pleasure? What is Buddha really intending to do by describing this to me? Is he showing off? He gave all this up, huh? This is the Buddha who's enlightened and he is giving a teaching. So he is not showing off. He's telling you that in that so-called worldly pleasure, there was something lacking. There was a sense of lack. Now, instead of reading further, ask yourself, do I recognize this sense of lack? Do I have it? Then I am just like the Buddha. If I don't have this sense of lack, Yeah? If I had all these wonderful pleasures that he described, I would not venture onto the spiritual path at all. Oh, I would enjoy the worldly pleasures. Then probably you're not the right candidate for Buddha Gurukul. Yeah. But if you genuinely have the same sense of lack and you can really hear what Buddha wants to say in these 2 paragraphs to me, then you are on the right track. So moving ahead, amid such splendor and a delicate life, it occurred to me, an uninstructed worldling, though himself subject to old age, not exempt from old age, feels repelled, humiliated, and disgusted when he sees another who is old, overlooking his own situation. Now, I too am subject to old age and am not exempt from old age. Such being the case, if I were to feel repelled, humiliated, and disgusted when seeing another who is old, that would not be proper for me. When I reflected thus, my intoxication with youth was completely abandoned. That is the main teaching. Please highlight that. That is the main teaching there. Just by recognizing that old person in front of me, that is nothing but my reflection. I too will get old like that. That is my truth. This was sufficient for him to become completely dispassionate towards the whole idea of being young and pretty or handsome. That delight that comes from that feeling of being young or fit or well, look at that delight within. Are you able to recognize that? What is Buddha trying to direct me towards? He is showing that though I am subject to aging, illness, and death, there is really no delight in that which is also subject to aging, illness, and death. Means anybody, any relationship in this world is subject to aging, illness, and death. Any person, any close family member, or even just an acquaintance. Where is there delight in that relationship? What is the point of this delight? Is there truly any delight? He's asking you a question. What is really inconsistent here? Is the pleasure or that delight itself inconsistent, or there is an expectation from that delight or an expectation from that pleasure? Is that inconsistent? What is it? Means, am I looking for something from this little delight that happens? There's a little kick that you get from the feeling I am younger than him or her. I am more youthful, I am fitter, I am well compared to him or her. That comparison, that subtle comparison is there. It's not in words. Do I have a hidden expectation placed on that little delight that I got from that feeling, whatever the feeling was? I am younger than him or her. If you recognize that little delight, then you are on the right path. This is the path of inquiry. This is the path of acute observation, of seeing reality as it is. And once you start recognizing, the mind has this tendency, right, wants to feel better than the other. And there is an expectation, a hidden expectation under that feeling of better than the other, that I am always going to be better than the other. That is very important to see. Are you able to recognize that hidden expectation? That is something you must write down for homework, something that you must reflect on. Do I recognize this? Okay. This first paragraph is about old age. Okay. So observe what is that little pleasure, that little delight that runs in me, just with the idea of me being more youthful than the other. When I see somebody old, why do I not see like the Buddha? Yeah, Buddha sees that person is old. Oh, that is already a reflection of me. Yeah, so it is very silly for me to feel repelled by it, or humiliated by it, disgusted by it, or oh, that's so dirty. No. This is the wrong tendency of the mind. Do I have that? Or am I like the Buddha and I can see it as my reflection? Just a little inquiry to begin with. I'm not going to go too deep into the working of the mind. The seniors can work on the patterns. We've discussed in the retreat how the mind patterns form. The seniors can work on the mind patterns level. Beginners, just start the inquiry. Have I recognized this in me? That's sufficient. Next paragraph. Again, it occurred to me, an uninstructed worldling, though himself subject to illness, not exempt from illness, feels repelled, humiliated, and disgusted when he sees another who is ill, overlooking his own situation. Now, I too am subject to illness and am not exempt from illness. Such being the case, if I were to feel repelled, humiliated, and disgusted when seeing another who is ill, that would not be proper for me. When I reflected thus, my intoxication with health was completely abandoned. That is the main teaching in the second paragraph, the intoxication with health. You get so intoxicated with your good health that if a friend or family member has some illness, you don't have compassion towards them. In fact, you feel disgusted at them being ill. Observe that. Observe that. There is this little tendency of the mind. Can I recognize this? It is actually finding some pleasure in expressing disgust against that person's ill health. What is that pleasure and what is hidden? There is an expectation that is hidden underneath it. Those who have done the retreats are recognizing this is identification. The I does not want to accept that I am also going to be old, I am also going to be ill. So it wants to reject and repel such ideas, such conversations, such situations. If nothing, not through speech and action, just in the mind, there's a repulsion to that idea. So to recognize it's the I that has identified with the body that is seeking some pleasure in this, and it only sees aversion towards the ill health. Yeah? The pleasure is from the idea, see, I am so well, mentally fit, physically fit, strong, etc. And this is intoxication with health. So why am I not like the Buddha? How did he come to that point that he just saw it and he let go of this tendency? And why am I still intoxicated with the idea of health? This is a self-inquiry question. Beginners will work only on the self-inquiry, and seniors will work on the identification tendency of the I. Moving to the third. Again it occurred to me, an uninstructed worldling, though himself subject to death, not exempt from death, feels repelled, humiliated, and disgusted when he sees another who has died, overlooking his own situation. Now I too am subject to death and am not exempt from death. Such being the case, if I were to feel repelled, humiliated, and disgusted when seeing another who has died, that would not be proper for me. When I reflected thus, my intoxication with life was completely abandoned. This is the willingness to let the I die. This is his getting over that intoxication. Again, ask yourself this question. Why am I so intoxicated with that I-ness, I, me, myself? That I-ness, that which says I exist, I live. I am intoxicated with the idea of life. How is it that Buddha, just by seeing death, got over that intoxication? And what is it in me that is still trapped in this intoxication with life? And intoxication with life is very broad term. You narrow it down, it is nothing but that sense of existing that you can recognize. That sense of existing is looking for an identity continuously. I am this, I am that. For now, it is saying I am Ekta, who's speaking, who's teaching about Buddha. When I recognize, oh, this is just intoxication, I take one step back and I know, no, there is no I there. There is only sound that appears and disappears. If there is attachment or clinging to the I, then the story comes, I am Ekta and I am speaking about this wisdom. When this intoxication with life or I goes away, there is a clear recognition of there is just the sound wave of this wisdom appearing and disappearing. Buddha got there instantly. I am still intoxicated. Can I keep seeing this jump of the I and it clinging to the sound or any other wave that is happening for you right now? Maybe thought is there, maybe sensation is there, maybe feeling is there. Observe how the I clings to it for dear life. It is intoxicated. Buddha completely abandoned this intoxication with life. Okay. So there are bhikkhus, these three kinds of intoxication. What three? Intoxication with youth, intoxication with health, and intoxication with life. I'll pause there. Are we very clear about these three? Youth, health, and life. Do you recognize that intoxication within? And it's at a very subtle, quiet level. It doesn't speak in words. Buddha has articulated something that can only be felt like an inner vasanatmic wind. Just that quiet movement of wind within, of vasanas, of desires. That I can recognize, but I have not been able to articulate it. Buddha is now articulating it for me. Can I recognize that vasanatmic hand that goes out to clasp the idea, I am young? That vasanatmic hand that goes out to clasp the idea, I have good health. And that vasanatmic hand that goes out to clasp the idea, I live, I exist. These are the three kinds of intoxications. This is what is the teaching so far in the sutta. Can I work on this? Can I work on these three kinds of intoxication? And what is the work? That is what is there ahead. An uninstructed worldling, intoxicated with youth, engages in misconduct by body, speech, and mind. I'll stop there. Uninstructed worldling. Sounds very big. Uninstructed, somebody who has not walked any spiritual path, has not taken any vows, not moved towards inner purity, is completely lost in the external world of people, situations, and things. He's uninstructed and he is a worldling, constantly lost in the intoxication of this world. Now, this one is intoxicated with youth. Not to blame one of us, all of us were there. We were all young ones. All of us were intoxicated with youth. Some of us are still intoxicated. And some of us will remain, even if the body is 80, 90 years old, the mind is still intoxicated with the idea of being youthful. So it's got nothing to do with the age of the body. Intoxication is at the level of vasana. It's an inner vasnatmic wind which is quietly moving within. And the moment it gets an opportunity, it tries to come out and grasp at something. When it gets an opportunity, there is usually misconduct through body, speech, and mind. Here he has just briefly mentioned it. There are other suttas where we speak about vows, where we decide that, yes, from now on I recognize this is the misconduct of the body, the speech, and the mind that I was indulging in, and now I am taking a vow that I will not indulge in that. A discipline that you enforce on your own self. Okay? So, we will do that in the next sutta, next level. This is just the beginner level to give you an idea. So have the courage to recognize, to acknowledge, to accept, yes, I engaged in misconduct by the body, speech, and mind when I was intoxicated with the idea of being young, the idea of being youthful. With the breakup of the body after death, he is reborn in the plane of misery, in a bad destination, in the lower world, in hell. Just to be very clear, on Buddha's path, there is no death, number one. And number two, there is nothing like hell. This is a poetic way of putting in words that anybody who performs any kind of wrong conduct through body, speech, or mind, he obviously also draws the effect towards himself. Now, as we go deeper, I will go into dependent origination, where you will see that you not only project the idea of getting something, you also project the idea of what will be the effect of getting it. Both together you project. So if you only have ill will, you also project punishment for your own self. There is no God up there sitting in the clouds making an account. Okay, Ajay did so many good deeds and so many bad deeds. Now I am going to do accounting. No. There is no God sitting up there and saying, okay, Sunita did this right and this wrong. Okay, so now she gets so many marks, so much score. No. There is nobody keeping score. There's nobody sending you to any heaven or hell. It is you doing it to yourself. Yeah, projection happens through you. And we will learn that in dependent origination. It's a higher level teaching. So we'll do that quite soon, but not in the next 1 month. It will take some time for you to get ready to be able to grasp something at that level. So just in short, all I want to say is that this little poem with the breakup of the body after death, he is reborn in the plane of misery, in a bad destination in the lower world, in hell. It's just the rhyming of the verse. Obviously, the verse rhymes in the Pali language, not so much in English. Besides that, there is no truth, there is no hell, and there is no real plane of misery that people have misinterpreted. The plane of misery is right here. Right here. There is no God out there either on this path. You are the God, you are the devil. There is no other God other than you that creates the world, and there is no other devil that punishes you. You only punish yourself if you do misconduct. Clear? So this is the main understanding on this path, that I project not only what I want or not want, I also project its effect. So in Advaita language, I not only project karma, I project karma phalam along with it, hand in hand. And this projection comes from me only. Who me? That we will see in the higher suttas, because there is nothing like the body here. Yeah? So there cannot be I, that am the body. Yeah? Body also he calls as one of the links in the cause-effect cycle. Yeah? So basically an imagination, an illusion, an idea. So we'll get there in the higher suttas. For now become very clear. I project karma, I project karma phalam. And I will never ever be able to project misconduct of the mind and a good fruit out of that. Not possible. That is not the design of the mind. Whenever I crave for something, I have an accompanying fear with it. What if it does not happen? Yeah, so I only project the karma and I only project the karma phalam. That is all that it means. Second part, an uninstructed worldling, intoxicated with health, engages in misconduct by body, speech and mind. With the breakup of the body after death, he is reborn in the plane of misery, in a bad destination, in the lower world, in hell. So exactly the same things, same projection of cause and effect if I'm intoxicated with the idea of health. And lastly, the same thing, intoxicated with life. Number 3, an uninstructed worldling, intoxicated with life, engages in misconduct by body, speech and mind. With the breakup of the body after death, he is reborn in the plane of misery, in a bad destination, in the lower world, in hell. I hope it is very clear. Yeah. I project the craving and I project its karma phalam, or its fruit, its effect at the same time. I project an aversion, I project its effect, its fruit at the same time. Therefore, whatever happens, first is the karma manifested and then is the karma phala manifested. So I will see that craving, whatever I craved for, I got it, but soon behind the effect of it follows. Yeah, so if it is misconduct, obviously I'm going to be miserable. If it is good conduct, obviously I'm going to be at peace. Intoxicated with youth, a bhikkhu gives up the training and reverts to the lower life, or intoxicated with health, he gives up the training and reverts to the lower life, or intoxicated with life, he gives up the training and reverts to the lower life. So he considers being lost in the world of people, situations and things as a lower life. When you are turned away from the world and you are looking for something within, something higher, there has to be something more. Now you have moved away from the intoxication of youth, health and life. So ask yourself, is it the lower life that pulls me very strongly, or do I have an inward calling? Something higher is really attracting me. Which way am I getting pulled? Clear? So now we move on to the little poem at the end of the sermon. He finished speaking about the main sermon. Now he only gives a rhyming poem for them to remember. Worldlings subject to illusion, old age and death are disgusted by other people who exist in accordance with their nature. If I were to become disgusted with beings who have such a nature, that would not be proper for me, since I too have the same nature. While I was dwelling thus, having known the state without acquisitions, I overcame all intoxications, intoxication with health, with youth, and with life, having seen security in renunciation. I'll pause there. Please highlight that. What is the state without acquisition? The state without any acquisition, where I don't want anything, there is no want in the mind. When I don't crave for youth, I don't crave for health, I don't crave for life. It is a state without acquisition. Acquisition is always mental. It's only a mentalization that I harbor within, and it's like a spider's web. It goes on increasing. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. In short, he's saying you're intoxicated by one of these three: health, youth, or life. And it's a big web. You can get stuck in your own web. But what has Buddha done? He has gone and cleaned this mental web. He's done a thorough cleaning. What is it? Deep cleaning. He's done a deep cleaning within. So now he does not have that web within. He's overcome all intoxications with health, with youth, and with life. And what is the realization here? There is security in renunciation. Most important. You feel there is security in acquisition. Do you recognize this? I want this, I want that, I want a house, I want this for my old age, I want that for my old age. So I have that feeling somewhere deep within that security is in acquisition. Ask yourself this question. Don't I have this feeling somewhere deep within? Isn't that the reason why I am running? I want this name, that fame, that house, that car, that relationship, that boss, that friend, that money, that job, next relationship. Why am I running? Because I have this wrong idea that security is in acquisition. What is he saying? Security is in renunciation. Can you renounce the waking world? Try as much as you want. You will not be able to leave the waking world only. Yeah. You cannot get rid of it. You are not running behind it. It's running behind you. This recognition is of utmost importance. When you recognize this, then all fears drop away. When you recognize it's a program, and that program is bound to bring whatever is meant to come to the waker. Yeah? If this waker is meant to get name, fame, money, good health, good friends, etc., I will not even be able to stop it, even if I want to stop it. Yeah? This is called the automatic programmed code. This code works of its own accord. Once you recognize this, then you start understanding, oh, this state of acquisitions, mental state of acquiring is there because I had the wrong idea that security is in acquisitions. No, in fact, suffering is in acquisitions. Yeah? So I'm not saying that throw away your house and money. You will not even be able to throw away. That also you don't have a power on. How much ever you feel, I am the doer. Yeah? You are not the doer. You only think you are the doer. Yeah? There is a script already there for the waker, and it has always been going according to the script. Once you start recognizing that, you see, it is the state with acquisition which is the cause of suffering, and the state without acquisition, where all these intoxications with youth, with health and life drop away. That renunciation, that's where the peace lies. Yeah? The I now stops grasping and running and chasing and lusting. Now the I rests because it knows what needs to come to the waker will come to the waker. Yeah, if success is meant to come, it will come. If failure is meant to come, it will come. There is nothing that I can do about it. So, for all the seniors, attempt to work on diving deeper into the understanding there is security in renunciation. For the beginners, let's take baby steps. Can I recognize that this mental state with acquisitions is the cause of suffering? The mental state of finding security in acquisitions. This, I want this, I want this, I want this. Can I see that suffering is there in that? Baby steps. No need to compete with the seniors. They are years ahead of you on the Buddha's path. They've also been practicing samadhi. So let's not get into that comparison. I give separate instructions to the beginners and separate to the seniors. Good. We move to the last paragraph of the poem. Zeal then arose in me as I clearly saw Nibbana. Now I am incapable of indulging in sensual pleasures. Relying on the spiritual life, never will I turn back. Very important sentence there. Incapable of indulging in sensual pleasures. Incapable. See the word. Incapable. Not that he has made some decision to do that. Not that it is an action. Not that it is a doing. I am incapable. It's not a possibility. I don't have the capability. He has recognized that I was only a thought. That which is a thought never had the capability of enjoying sensual pleasures. It was only an idea, only an imagination. Now, relying on this seeing that I am incapable of indulging in sensual pleasures, he says, never will I turn back. He relies on this seeing, on this wisdom. That's where the sutta ends. Now, what do we learn from this sutta? Is how Buddha actually started his path. What was that first wisdom pointer that occurred to him? The first insight. And ask yourself, do I have a similar seeing? Am I also a candidate for the Buddha's path? If not in its totality, do I have a few glimpses of what we discussed today? Sutta is very clear to everybody? Any question?
Today, I have a question. So,
Softly.
can you expand a little bit on the misconduct of mind? I get the misconduct of body and speech,
Yeah.
but I'm not able to get
Huh.
what constitute the misconduct of mind.
We'll be doing this next in the next sutta. That the misconduct of the mind is harboring ill will, negativity, feeling happy when somebody else is suffering, hating somebody, repelling, rejecting, being disgusted, all those things. Yeah? There is lots of points. On the Buddha's path, there are vows that people take. There is 44 vows for the householder video that you can find online. The volunteers can share. But like I told you, there will be separate instructions for beginners and separate for the seniors. So only the seniors have to watch the 44 vows and write to me, these are the vows from these 44 that I am taking. For the beginners, I will just give you a list of some 10-15 simple vows. Very simple. You don't even have to go towards those 44 vows. You just look at these simple 10-15 vows. Out of that, you choose only 5. You're a beginner. Yeah? So, concession
Mm-hmm.
for you. Some of them are so happy, only 5. You're a beginner. No? So, a beginner is actually just given that beginning level few simple vows. Yeah? And because we live in this world of technology, I will create those vows according to this world of technology, not give you ancient vows from 2500 years ago. They're not even relevant for a beginner. Yeah? Very simple vows, like you're constantly distracted by your phone. In those days, Buddha didn't have, I mean, there were no phones, and Buddha didn't have such a vow. But this is so important for you, right? You're constantly distracted. A distracted mind does not have the ability to settle down and be quiet for a little while. And the mind that doesn't have the ability to settle down and be quiet for a little while cannot see anything on the Buddha's path. Not possible. The seeing here is dependent on a quiet and silent mind. Yeah? So, the first few sessions will be directed towards quietening the mind to a point where I can actually start seeing clearly. If there is a big uh, storm going on outside and lots of sand is there, and the sand is all flying around, I cannot see anything clearly. I don't know where is the road, where is the next building, I cannot see where are the trees, where is the sky. It's all sand, sand, and sand gets into my eyes. That's exactly the state of the distracted mind. So, a beginner who has not been walking on the path and has not done any samadhi, or has just done a little bit of samadhi here and there and can just sit with 10 minutes of closed eye and is very distracted, he needs a different set of vows. Yeah? So, very pertinent to our current technology driven age. I will just create a few vows. I'll give you an option. Okay, these are 15 vows, but you choose just 5. You choose. And then you put those 5 in your journal, and only Ekta can see. Don't worry, nobody else can see. You choose, okay, these 5, these 6, these 4, I think I need to really work on. And you be sincere. Oh, I see, these are my big problems. Distracted mind, very very big problem for me. Yeah? So that becomes my vow. So you take these simple vows and start with these simple. That does not mean the seniors cannot. You can also, we will share with you also. You add to your 44 vows if you want to add. Okay, and again, reminder for the seniors, all 44 are not mandatory, especially the ones related to sex and intimacy must be taken only if your spouse is on board with you. Clear? So now homework. Homework for the seniors. Watch the 44 vows video. Sunita, please can you send that link in Flock to everybody? Yeah. Watch the 44 vows video. Sunita will send the link both to YouTube and Jnana Sangha website, wherever you want to watch. The seniors will make notes, very sincere notes, and decide these are the vows I am going to stick to. Now, in your journal, you will create a new tab called the vows. Yeah? The seniors will call it 44 vows. And then just from those 44, you're doing 40, you tell me these are the 40 I'm doing. You're doing 30, these are the 30 I'm doing out of the 44. You're doing 20, doesn't matter. But not less than 20 for any senior. Huh? Now, the beginners, you will get a separate, I'll send you a separate Google form with some 15, 16 vows only. Very pertinent to our modern age to help the mind settle down, because we are not at the level of these seniors. They sit for samadhi for 3 hours without getting up. We are not there. Yeah? We are beginners. We can barely sit 15 minutes without getting up from samadhi. So we will take the initial level vows which are required for the mind to now become settled down or become a little disciplined. Now, some of you have that fear of vows and feel, oh, that is too much. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the Buddha's path, let me tell you, it's the path of discipline. Yeah, and if you feel, no, I don't want to do vows, then don't worry. Just send an email to the volunteers that you'll be dropping out. You can join next year. Yeah, next year Gurukul will be on Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta is very free-flowing. Your moral values, your problem, your ethics, your problem, whether you get enlightened or not is your problem. Yeah? That is how Advaita Vedanta is. It's very flowing, the knowledge there. You get it, your problem. You don't get it, your problem. Buddha is not like that. Buddha will take you from A, B, C, D all the way to PhD. Proper, structured way, ensuring each one of you gets it. That is Buddha. So not all of us are inclined towards this kind of structured methodology. Yeah? So if you feel that, oh, this is too much work, I want the free-flowing way, then drop out, join Gurukul next year. Yeah? Next year we'll do Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra Gita is very free-flowing, up to you. Yeah? Up to you, no problem. So you can join Ashtavakra Gita next year. And those who feel, no, I need structure. In fact, I have been lost in that flow. That flow is good, but then my mind is not accountable there, no? And when it is not accountable, it does what it wants. Oh, no. My mind is a wild horse. I need structure. If you feel like that very strongly, then Buddha is your path. Very clear? So we did our first sutta. You realized how the sutta is. You saw the language. Are you comfortable with that language? This was the shortest sutta. Yeah? All other suttas are really long. Some Wednesday evenings will be 3-hour sessions because the sutta is really long. Yeah? Or sometimes I'll have to break it up into half the sutta this week, half the sutta next week. Yeah? Because they're so long. So mentally be prepared. Number one, am I really interested in my spiritual path so much? 2, did I realize it requires this kind of commitment? Am I up for it? Yeah? 3, do I have family support? Yeah, that's very important. 1 month down the line, 2 months down the line, you can't come and tell me, oh, now my family member is saying, no, Wednesdays you are gone always. No. Please get that support from your family. Very important. Clear? So I gave you a little trailer with the sutta. I told you all the Buddha Gurukul rules. I've given you the permission to drop out. Yeah, but once you drop out, you cannot say, now I'm coming back. And if you don't drop out in the first month. I will not let you drop out then. Then you are stuck. Yes, then you are stuck for 3 years. She is not letting me go. Yeah? So you should be very clear, this is what I want. Yeah? Commitment is commitment. Once you have committed, you cannot step back. Clear? Okay. Any questions?
Today I have one more question. Today I see a little bit of glimpse of the sense that I am not the doer or I am not the experiencer. Then who is it that making the commitment of going towards the Buddha's path, or who is the head who is going to take the vows now?
Beautiful.
I
Yeah, beautiful. Very beautiful
yeah.
question.
So
Yeah. If I'm not this doer, then who's taking this? Do I recognize that I am not this localized body, but I am something which is like an infinite field here? Yeah, maybe on the Advaita Vedanta path it's called the Sakshi field or the witnessing field. On the Buddha's path it's called Shunyata, it's nothingness, non-self. Yeah? Because this is what you consider as self, no? He will help you break down everything here. The body is not self, the eyes are not self, the nose is not self, thoughts are not self, feelings are not self, touch, taste, smell, nothing is self. He'll break it down and he'll just leave you with nothingness. Anatta. Nobodiness. That nobodiness is the one that has fooled itself to be Ekta. So now Buddha is telling that nobodiness, stop fooling yourself that you are Ekta. Recognize your nobodiness nature. And now take a vow that you will not fool yourself that I am going to pretend to be Ekta. Take a vow that I am not going to pretend to be the doer. You take a vow of staying at a distance again and again. And of course, because of old habit, you will stumble, fumble, and fall. No problem. You dust yourself, wear your hat back, come back. Nobody. I am Mr. Nobody or Miss Nobody. That nobodiness, that shunyata, that nothingness or anatta in Pali language. Anatta, not self. That is the one that is taking these vows. Clarity is there now? Good questions. Anybody else has any questions?
Didi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Didi, during the session, you gave us these points about intoxication, and then you said to work on these with the pattern work that you taught us in the retreat.
Yeah.
So, are you referring to the Advaita one that you gave us, like the 10 points?
Yes. Yes, that's the mind pattern we spoke about, no? Dive deeper into that. It's got nothing to do with Advaita and Buddha. Wisdom is wisdom. Yeah? Nothing is limited to one bucket. These are all ideas. In nobodiness and nothingness, there are no words like Advaita and Buddha.
I was just referring to the last Advaita retreat, like you gave us like the 10. So,
yeah, just identify the mind pattern and work on that specific mind pattern that you recognize that is your obstacle. Okay.
And Didi, like I'm starting the session Buddha with you. I just want to say I'm starting fresh with all the 44, like 43 vows and just with good conduct.
Good. Okay. Tanvi, we need our cameras on. I see your camera is off. In Gurukul, we cannot have. Huh?
Sorry, I have logged in from my phone as well. My laptop camera is
Okay, you have to
for
do.
some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so Gurukul rules: you should never have your cameras off. They should always be on. You must attend the meditation. Was everybody here during the meditation time? Yeah, except the people who are in India and it's too early for you, it's okay if you join directly for the session. Yeah, I don't want you to be a walking ghost in our session. You need that sleep early in the morning, that's fine. But the people who are in the US, you're in your daytime, so no excuses for you. Yeah, we have some people from Singapore. I think it's daytime for you as well.
Yes, Didi, it's around 10 a.m. now.
Ah,
So it's okay.
so good. Yeah, so no excuse for you also for missing the meditation time. Yeah, so
Sure.
only the people who are in India and have a difficulty waking up by 5:30 a.m., it's okay if you join at 6:30 a.m. directly for the session. And please remember the time changes here in the US. So we will be maintaining the US time, and India and Singapore will have to adjust their timing. So if 5:30 a.m. becomes 4:30 a.m., I'm not expecting you to really be up at that time. Yeah? You come directly for the session. But this exceptions is only for the people who are in India, yeah? Not for the people who are in US. If you have any
Didi,
commitments,
like I'm traveling to London in 3 weeks, just for 1 week to meet the family. So can I sleep, wake up, and attend straight the session?
yeah, that's
It
okay.
would be like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I
there.
know. Yeah, but there are not going to
Okay.
be videos, so it's best if you attend.
No, I'll attend. Just I'll sleep, so I'll have 4 hours of sleep, and then so just
Yes,
for that week.
yes.
Okay, Didi.
Good. That is the level of commitment. Do you get it? She's ready to wake up at 2 a.m. to attend the session. Do you realize what is the commitment required for Gurukul? Yeah? All your appointments have to be scheduled around this time. All your travel needs to be scheduled around this time. If Ekta is giving her personal and family time to your spiritual growth, don't you think you should prioritize your spiritual growth even higher than what she has prioritized? Yes? Have that priority for your own self. Good? Any other questions? Anything? Gurukul questions or Sutta questions?
Maybe one problem means if I sit for even say 10 minutes, I have a problem. So my legs sleep,
Hmm.
my neck starts paining. So
You're
is it
talking about
normal?
Samadhi time. Yeah, yeah. In the
Ah,
beginning, I spoke, no, to somebody asked the question. So I said, yeah, you are
hmm,
not experienced like the seniors. They sit for three hour closed-eyed samadhi, and you don't have that practice. Soon you'll get there.
hmm,
Come to the next retreat. The retreat is what really helps you. Back at home, it's not easy to develop this skill. You know? At home, you have lots of excuses to get up. You come to a retreat, that's where you will really develop the skill of sitting. And a point will come, you'll be able to sit very peacefully in samadhi. You won't even know, oh, it's been an hour, it's been 2 hours. Amazing. They themselves don't know. When they come out of it, they realize, oh, it's been 2 hours. So the skill will develop naturally. The most important thing is to see what Buddha teaches. And if you cannot see, forever you will only be doing beginner level suttas. I will not be able to take you to Satipatthana suttas because you didn't come to the retreat and learn Satipatthana. Yeah? Similarly, once you are done with the Satipatthana level, the next level is to come to the retreat and learn the jhana level. I can't do the jhana level suttas with you because you've then not learned jhanas. So, if you don't come to a retreat, you will not progress beyond the beginner level. Yeah? And how many beginner level suttas am I going to do? You saw the sutta is so simple, right? You need to get to the Samadhi Suttas. And to get to Samadhi Suttas, you have to sit in Samadhi to be able to apply the Samadhi Suttas. So, all of you, I encourage all of you to plan at least one retreat this year. At least one retreat. It doesn't matter whether it's a Buddha retreat or an Advaita retreat, doesn't matter. I teach the same thing. I teach exactly the same thing. The same samadhi that you will get to learn in different words. Yeah? Buddha Samadhi, I speak in the Pali words. And Advaita Samadhi, I speak in Adi Shankaracharya's words. Yeah? The words are different. Samadhi is the same. Okay? Now, those who think, oh, why should I sit in long Samadhis? I should have got it just by listening. If you were a Shravaka, you would have already been enlightened by now. If sudden enlightenment or Satori was for you, by now you should have been enlightened. Are you? Ask yourself.
No.
So that is the thing. You recognize that thing within, you become humble about it. Yes, be honest about it, be humble about it. And maybe I need to quieten my mind. And that is the purpose of Samadhi. My mind is not so quiet that just by listening I can do self inquiry and dive deep into nididhyasana or implementation. So then I need to really work on Samadhi. Close my eyes and sit and attain that state where the mind is completely settled, quiet, at peace. And that's where insights start coming up like fireworks, one after the other, one after the other. But its demand is very clear: quiet, settled mind. Very clear demand. Yeah. Enlightenment cannot happen in a mind that is chit chat, constant chaos, constant mess, constant storm. No.
The one more thing, there was a mail in which there were some timings, and this timing is 1 hour after that time. So these timings keep on changing, or it's static time,
No,
the
there's.
timing for the
It didn't
class?
say timing is not changed. They gave for different time zones. There's people from Singapore, people from India, people from US. In US, we have 3 different time zones, 4 different time zones in US. So those are the time zones that are mentioned. The class timing
No,
for you is the same.
no, even in the December mails before, it was 4:30 a.m. for this silent
We have,
and 5:30 for class.
yeah, okay, the
Uh,
time changes in the US. We have daylight
okay.
savings time. So I think very soon we are going to jump ahead. So then it'll change in India. You're in India, right? For
I'm
you,
in India, so it will become earlier or later?
yes, earlier, I think it becomes earlier. 1 hour earlier. That's
Okay,
why
fine.
I gave the
No,
concession, no? That when we change timings here in the US and it becomes very early in India, you don't have to join the 4:30 a.m. meditation. You directly join 5:30 a.m. for the session. Yeah? If 5:30
one more
a.m. is
thing.
too early for you, then maybe you should attempt next year's Gurukul, huh?
Yeah,
2027.
I can wake up at 10:10. That's not a problem.
Huh? Take care.
So one more thing, Didi, na? This class starts at 6:30. So and is there any ending time, 8:30, 9:30, anything?
No,
Or
there is no ending time that I can fix because the sutta length varies. Sometimes the
fine,
sutta is
no
as
problem.
short as today, and sometimes it is 10 pages long.
Fine, that's not a problem.
Yeah. So then that's why I
Yes,
told
I'll
you Wednesday evenings. I think in India it's Thursday morning. That Thursday morning you'll have to empty out that slot. No appointments, no commitments, nothing. Anyway, you people go to work at noon, 11 a.m., 12 you go to work. Yeah. Here half the day is over by that time. So it works for India very well actually.
I can even go early in the morning to the work. That's not a problem. The
Actually.
travel time can be converted.
Okay.
Fine.
But commitment is essential. Huh? If you feel within the next 2, 3 sessions that no, you're not able to keep up with the timings, then it's best that you drop out and you join next year. Yeah, yeah? This is for everyone, not just for him, for everyone. Okay. All good? Any other question?
Today, I have a sutta related query.
Hmm.
In most of the suttas that I have gone through your sessions, Buddha mentions that if there is the misconduct of body, mind, and speech, that person goes through the plane of misery or bad destination. Sometimes the word hell is used. But in one of the suttas, I remember he was mentioning that it is not necessary that he will be going through them. So I was confused. Like in that sutta, he was also mentioning a different thing, and he also mentioned in the sutta that if he does the good conduct, it is also not necessary that he will be going through the
Yes,
uh,
yes,
better plane.
yes.
Yeah. So
It's
can you?
because of your own projection, no, dear? Sometimes you feel, okay, the economy is doing very bad, very bad. I'm going to lose my job. I hope I don't lose my job. I hope I don't lose my job. So you're really doing your best in office, to perform well. You're giving extra time. You're behaving very cordially with all the colleagues. You're ensuring my performance is 10 on 10. Yeah, you're doing everything, but constantly at the back of the mind you have that fear, what if I lose my job, what if I lose my job, what if I lose my job. Do you see this? Now where have you put your more attention on? Did you put more attention on the fear, or did you put more attention on performing well, doing the project honestly, being cordial in office, doing everything in a good way? Where did you put your attention on? That is what determines what is going to happen. Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
balance. It's like a balance. If the weight was heavier on the fear, you have projected getting fired. If
Mm-hmm.
your attention is heavier on your work and being really good at work, then others may get fired and you might get promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Okay.
It can happen the other way. So it depends on where your energy is concentrated. This also Buddha will explain very nicely. He explains, but that is the thing, you have to move ahead from anapana. Yeah? Then only can I do the higher level suttas with you. At this level, please know I can only do the initial basic level suttas because most of you are beginners. A point will come where I will have to divide the session into seniors and beginners, and the seniors will be doing their jhana level suttas or satipatthana level suttas, and the beginners will be watching a video, a beginner level video. A point will come. So that's why I encourage each one of you that see that you come for a retreat, move ahead, move from anapana. The next level is satipatthana. Can you all raise your hands, whoever has done the anapana online retreat? Okay, let me ask the other way. How many of you have not done any anapana at all? Zero anapana till today. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So for the benefit of these 6, Kirti, can we please organize a weekend online anapana retreat for them? Yeah. So let's find some weekend this month, yeah, if possible in February itself, so that they can make a decision whether Buddha's path is for them or it is overwhelming. Okay? So let's find a weekend this month. She will organize it, she will announce the dates, and then all 6 of you who raised your hands that you've never done it, it's mandatory for you. That weekend, please take off from all work and see that you devote to Anapana online retreat. See that you follow the instructions that are given, and you will do it on your own. There's nobody leading you, it's just everything is on the computer and tells you when you're supposed to do what. Close your eyes and do the samadhi. The samadhi instructions are given. There'll be a next video on the sutta. You watch that sutta and you go through those teachings and you understand what you did in samadhi. So if you didn't do a good job in the first samadhi, now from the understanding in the sutta, now you do a better job in the second samadhi sitting. So that's how you work on your own individual samadhi. Yeah? 2.5 days starting on Friday till Sunday night. You will be sitting in a room and just doing anapana sati samadhi with those instructions. And to tell me in the week following when we meet for our Buddha Gurukul, is Buddha for you? Do you feel that connect from within? Yeah, sometimes it's an instant connect. You're like, oh, this is it. Yeah? So you will feel that. You will know your inner calling. Okay? So we'll attempt to make that decision in Feb itself. So those who feel that no, Buddha is not for me, then you can drop out and the rest of us will continue. Those who drop out, don't worry, you can join Ashtavakra Gurukul in 2027 January. Okay? You can do other things. Who Am I has started. They've just done one session. You can join Who Am I. Mandukya is going to start. You can join Mandukya weekly. I is going to start weekly. You can join I. Yeah? So there's a lot for you to do while you wait for next year's Gurukul. Good. Any other question? Anybody? All good? All Buddha experts? Next week will be a self-exploration and journaling session. Those who are beginners and have never done journaling before, the seniors will explain to you what is journaling, how we journal. Yeah? In fact, the seniors should at least journal 2-3 points ahead of time and show that entire point from this particular sutta from today. Yeah? So Sriram, can you do that? Explain one sutta, maybe misconduct of body, mind, speech, something, intoxication with life, youth, one of them. Pick up something, write all the entries for it and explain how you see it. Yeah? Explain as if you're talking to Ekta. Forget, just wipe them out from your sight and just explain, this is how I see. So then they'll understand what is journaling, and if they are up for that, hard work. Yeah, journaling is not to impress Ekta. Journaling helps you dive into self-inquiry. Yeah, it helps you go deeper within. It is for yourself. It's not an assignment, not a task. Yeah, it is just a way to dive deeper within. Move away from the distractions of the mind and look within. Okay, so next week they will be doing that, and you will choose your vows next week. I'll be sending 15, 17, 18, whatever vows. Sri Ram will show them to you. Those are for the beginners. If the seniors want to take them and add to the 44 vows, feel free to add. And beginners, only 5 are sufficient. Yeah, but if you really feel, no, I will benefit from 7 or 8, these I really need to work on, I feel the need, then you take 7, 8. Yeah, but don't try to take all 15. Don't overwhelm yourself. Next month you can add some more. So this month, let me start only with 5 baby steps. And then if I feel, yes, I can do this, then you can add 1 or 2 in March, then add 1 or 2 in April, like that. And then if you want to do all 15 at a point, we can get there also. But be kind with yourself in that whole zeal and enthusiasm. Don't overcommit and under-deliver. You'll feel not good about yourself. So 5 is sufficient for beginners. Okay? Sriram, I'll share those with you for next week. This week, just familiarize yourself with Buddha. Watch more Buddha videos that are online. Understand what is Anapanasati Sutta. That is also there online. That's what you're going to be working on for your online Anapana retreat. And decide. Read this sutta again. Decide, do I really want to do this? Am I up for it? Yeah? And really no problem if you drop out. Absolutely no problem. Okay, you can do Who Am I this year, do I, and then next year join Ashtavakra in January 2027, Ashtavakra Gurukul. Clear? Everybody's mind is at peace? Yeah? Peacefully make that decision. Don't get all agitated. Gurukul. Nothing big about Gurukul. It's only an opportunity for me to get away from all this distraction and now focus on one thing. I'm committing to this one thing for the next 2 to 3 years. That's all Gurukul is. If you realize that your mind is just all over the place, always distracted, lost in this, lost in that, messing this up, messing that up, causing so much suffering, I really need to train these wild horses. Then if you feel that yes, I really need this, then wear your blinders and dive deep into it. Then don't even allow your mind to change its mind. No, you cannot change your mind. You committed. Now it's done. Clear? You only prison yourself into Gurukul, lock and throw the key away. Not the mind is not allowed to drop out like that. That kind of commitment if you have, then I should see you next week online. If not, write a gentle email to the volunteers. I think I will join 2027. And then they'll remove you. Clear? Everybody's clear? Okay. So I'll send you the vows next week, and Sri Ram will take us through a proper session. 2-3 of you seniors also start writing and share. Yeah, Swati, you can share. Shailaja, you can share next week. Kirti, you can share just one point. Sometimes 2-3 seniors share. You can see it from different aspects. Oh yeah, Gitanjali can share from a higher level. She's doing jhanas, so she can share from that level. So choose from whatever level of samadhis you all are at, the seniors, and that particular vow you explain. Yeah, vow or whatever points from this sutta, journal points. Okay? Chalo. So have a great week, everybody, and I will see you soon.